Hi, it's Irene's Well, it is what it is, and I wonder what it's like in your world. But today we're up in the farm. I took the ego on a ride because it's all about ego tripping. Let's get token. My world this weekend has been fantastic. Well, I decided that I needed a trip out of Kampala. And how did I manifest it? In my thinking and my feeling. And as I speak now, I'm in a beautiful place out of Kampala. I needed a break from the atmosphere. I felt like I was choking. There was too much animosity. The atmosphere was just stuffed. Even just leaving Kampala was like, whew, refreshing. Anyway, what am I sharing with you? This weekend, I wanted to get away because I needed to deal with the ego. It was all about ego tripping. Well, we took the trip and we took the ego on a trip, and I was going through a lot of schooling. I settled for the book of James because the book of James explains the state of consciousness one is to maintain if they're to hold on to that I am awareness that they've already started becoming aware of. Now, like getting rid of an old man is not an easy trick. So you find yourself in places where you're challenged over and over by the ego. So I had this trip and it helped me understand why I was falling into people's energies of competition, animosity, and hatred, division, because that's what was flying around all of a sudden in my sphere, and yet I had already created a sphere of calmness and coolness. Like I was sharing with you, I always share my experiences. It doesn't help to have a lot of knowledge and not put it into experience, because knowledge without experience is useless. Knowledge with experience gives birth to wisdom. And so we tend to pray, ask for wisdom. Wisdom comes by when you've got this knowledge, immediately the challenge will come. And if you don't put the knowledge that you've got into experience, then the wisdom is not gotten. So I managed to put a finger on it when I realized I was being sucked into energies of people who were full of animosity, competition, division. There was all of a sudden they are them, they are us, we are the ones, all that stuff. And I was like, I really ain't going back to those pits of hell. I've been there. I was quick enough to know that the ego was easily going to be tripped into that trip of falling into we know better, they don't know. We are holier, they are not. We are the chosen, they are not. That stuff, that kind of energy is what was coming into my box, into my area. So I disconnected with it to recalibrate myself and find myself. And the best way to do it is just free yourself from that total atmosphere. If it means changing location, change the location, which I did. And it has helped me identify the places where I could easily open the door to the old self to arise. And the ego who wants to be on the throne, and the throne, the I amness that you are, you got to note. So changing and renewing your mind is not a one-day process. The challenges that come to test that new knowledge that you've got and acquired of yourself will have to be put to test. And mine has been put to test. I've enjoyed this weekend because away from the usual atmosphere and the usual people, I managed to identify the areas where I let the ego go on a trip. So I've taken him on a trip and he ain't gonna trip on me. Because every moment that you are awake in the power of existence is a test, whether you're going to flow from the egotistic you or the true you, which is the soul you, the I am, the goodness, the love, the light that you are, the godness, the God presence, the who, that's who you are, by the way. And so these days, I, as much as possible, every moment stay in the awareness of that I am, I am. And by the way, the moment you refer to the I am, you're referring to God presence, awareness, because that's who you are. But coming from a place where, like I told you, my state of consciousness has changed. I don't believe in an angry God. I don't believe in a God who comes as Christ to save a few. But the fact that this life is in everybody, I am is there just waiting to be awakened. I now feel comfortable to always refer myself back to the I am state, especially when I find myself being thrown into a state where is the pits of hell. So when you confidently wake up every day and say, I am the light of the world, I am the way to truth, I am the love that people seek, I am the peace that people are looking for. To find you, you have to step out of your comfort zone. And like you have seen, I stepped out of Kampala, I came to a beautiful place, you change the environment draws out the best of who you are. So like I said, I don't know which journey you are on concerning your consciousness awareness, or should I say your true being and knowing who you are and understanding the purpose of your soul's journey here. But Irene has since embarked further and further. And this week it was about the ego tripping and putting the ego back into their place so that they don't trip in a place and sphere which is not theirs. So you have to go to that journey of self-inquiry yourself. No one is going to do it for yourself. Check yourself every day. Am I flowing in my I amness, or am I flowing from the ego who has been schooled and taught to believe that others are different, that others are chosen, and that others are evil, that the ones are going to die for us, we're the special ones. If you're still wallowing in that sphere of thinking that another is different from you, then you haven't yet known who you are. For we all come from the same source. We come from the same life force. In different vessels, yes, in different understandings, because the journey, that's how it awakens to itself. So if you're finding yourself fighting other people's battles, someone parrots a statement about others and you run with it, and you're feeling yourself so tired, it's because you're running with somebody's wrong self-concept of who they are and who you are, because we are one. Well, I'm grateful that I manifested this trip out of Kampala. It has been very refreshing. I live in the moment of now, and I know that every moment is a test. I'm either going to flow from my ego or from my I amness with the soul. It takes training, because James says, do not be a mere hearer of the truth, of the word, but be a doer. So this weekend we came to do, but I needed to disconnect from that energy that was now boiling around me. And it is so easy to be drawn into someone else's energy. And before you know it, you've left the I am state. Just listen to your speech. Listen to how you're talking. Is it more of them, us, we? Where is the we are one? Where is the love that you are? Pull yourself back if you get drawn into negative energies. Stop parroting other people's pains and other people's battles and other people's wrong concepts, because they are also you. They are just a reflection of where your thinking is. If you know that you're I am, you always recollect yourself, go back to the I am state, and there's no condemnation to you, neither do you judge another, because it is what it is. Well, Irene is returning to Kampala refreshed, full of I amness. I wonder what your world is like. Remember, that journey is yours. Embark on it now. There is no tomorrow, there's only now. Start it today. In Irene's world, it is beautiful, as you can see. It is what it is. Beautiful.
Original me not sweet, you better than a come be me. You better than a come be me. You better than a come at me. Walk like a champion. Walk like a champion. Walk like a champion. Yeah, walk like a champion. 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 It's never just another day gone by. I make moves and my moves don't lie. A focused man can't backslide. Not even moonwalk can't backslide. I tell you that I've been walk like. Say mommy everything's alright. Say mommy everything's alright.